Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio. We're talking Lemieux and Yager here, but Smoking Jim doesn't know anything about either one.
Yeah, it's a very short conversation.
Yeah, sorry, folks. Thanks for watching our show. We appreciate it. We're on Comcast 7, as you know, only in Bethel Park. Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, and all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. You can watch us throughout the Pittsburgh area, and thanks for liking our page. We're at 6,876 likes. Thanks for liking our shows and watching the shows. We appreciate that, and liking our page. Got a couple promos here. Let's see how Steve did here on that camera. Perfect. Look at that. 412-831-1900. Olive Oil's Pizzeria sponsors our show with a XL pizza and a nice steak hoagie. So we appreciate their food and their treats. You can get a hold of them at Hillcrest Shopping Center. Smoking Jim knows where it's at. He's been there when they have their $5 large pizzas. He goes and takes at least one and gets out of there. So he knows how to operate. End of each show, we say, "Stay Joey Strong," in honor of Joey Fabus. Died before his 10th birthday. His family's raised over $100,000 to find the cure for DIPG. They have their big 5K 1-mile race. It's with superheroes that you can dress up as. You pay a fee, and the money all goes to find a cure for DIPG. I have some sad news this year. I guess I might as well tell you that I'm suffering kidney disease. My kidneys are only functioning at 15%. Look how I look. I look great, feel great. I'm not on dialysis, and I'm on the kidney transplant list, and my son volunteered to give me one of his kidneys. So September 13th, we'll go in, and I'll get my kidney from my son. I'm just proud and honored that he would do something like that. And it's just a tough thing. 3 years I've been battling this, and kidneys just haven't gotten any better. They haven't got worse, but I have to get a new kidney so I don't get on dialysis, and I don't want to go through that because I've heard a lot of bad things, and it keeps you alive, but there's a price you pay to it. So
they're going to go in and replace it. You get another 100,000 miles.
Yeah,
you're good to go.
I'm hopeful there. I'm
there
hopeful. Made it this far, but yeah, so I'm going to miss the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation 5K 1-mile run, and I'm not sure what we're going to do about it, but you know, it'll be coming up. But I'm also going to miss Community Day. What a weekend for me to have Lucky Friday the 13th, so I'll be out of action for 3 days, then 2 weeks no driving, so I might miss the show on the 17th of September, but I may have Smoking Jim pick me up and drag me into the show if he can find my house. He knows where it is.
Leave a trail of breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I will. I'll leave a pizza right out front. Definitely. Okay, next up on another happier note, the Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. My favorite tea shop is Reginald's Coffee. Go in there and say hi to Matt and Julie. Check it out. Jessica Lee's going to do a show there on September 20th. So there'll be some jazz and blues, plus coffee and treats. So check it out then. That's at the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. And then here's the flyer. Let you see that flyer for the 5K 1-mile walk. It's at the Bethel Park High School, and that is on the 15th, Sunday the 15th. 9 o'clock in the morning, so check it out. It's usually a great day there. And you can go there and donate some money and even run with a costume. A lot of people do that. Next up, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. Put my face on Uncle Sam, said, "Uncle Al sent you." Call BPTV 412-831-3304. You could be a intern here and volunteer and run the cameras, sound system, like we got Steve's doing it, Zach's doing it. Devin Shea stopped in one of the first times we've seen him this year, He was doing it every show we did, possibly since the beginning. But he got married, and work calls and different things have led him astray. But he did show up today. Next up is the BPCF.org. Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. $100 to $5,000 for your group or organization with the good things you're doing in Bethel Park. If you need some money, go get an app at bpcf.org. Come on in. I'm a trustee on the board. We'll listen to what you have and get you some money. That's what I have on that. And then our show tonight, What's on Your Mind, is sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station. You can give them a call at 724-348-4715. Why am I only half in the picture on this? There, that's better. I didn't know what happened there. This is live TV, 724-348-4715. We got that straightened out. Anything and everything that runs on gas. I had a little issue with my check engine light, had to stop at Skeets today. He solved the problem, so check it out. Tell him Uncle Al sent you and go see him. He works on, again, anything and everything that runs on gas. So give him a call. Now I got to ask, what's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Coming at you.
you got to see Levine practicing my old high school quarterback option days.
What year was that?
But
I never get an
hey,
answer. I don't know what's going on.
um,
He might have bad ears.
I always say I'm very thankful for my white friends. Ran into friend of the shows and friend of the stations, Johnny.
Yeah.
And bought my groceries for me. At,
Well, he just
Shop
lives
and
5
Save.
minutes a while away from
Yeah,
here.
yeah. We talked about Judge Arnone and him, and I know Johnny does some stuff in the studio here.
Yeah.
And so I was very appreciative. Always good to see him. We had some good conversations. I first ran into him in the parking lot of Walmart.
Get out.
Yeah, it's a shame that how much damage did you do to his car?
He didn't see. Chip, he didn't see.
I guess I shouldn't have seen it. Ran into
No,
him,
he
Johnny.
didn't see him. That's why.
But I seen him. He was
He
on.
came to a sudden stop.
He was on his way to the bank, and I was on my way out of Walmart, and then I ran into him at Shop and Save. So
Are you following him around?
Well, he was in line behind me.
You stalker.
Huh?
You a stalker.
I guess we both. I guess we got a lot in common. We
Yeah.
like to.
He's a little shorter than you,
Yeah.
and he doesn't
And
wear
Probably
sunglasses.
doesn't have a nice pair of sunglasses.
We talked
like
about
that.
his parents. His mom and dad came from Italy.
Yeah,
So
they
he was
just
the
moved
first-
to Bethel Park.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what
why
he
he gave
told
you
me.
those
You know all
glasses?
that, and he said, "Yeah." Well, I got these
Smoking
glasses
Jim.
from another Italian
I
friend
talk to
of
people,
ours.
and I actually listen to what they say.
Yeah, he said he was the firstborn here in this country.
Nice.
So when we talked about homemade sausage, because my Italian friends, I got a lot of Italian friends, brother.
Do you?
And a lot of people thought you was Italian. They
Yeah,
thought you was one
yeah.
of them. And sausage and wine, and I always wanted to step on some grapes for some Italian. But anyhow, I'll move on. I don't drink the wine, but I wanted to step on some grapes.
Just so you know, I'm from an Italian family, very big
You
Italian.
He's
big
half
Italian,
Italian.
right?
My mother was Italian.
Now, did she can her tomatoes for the winter?
When we were children, yes.
Okay.
When as she got older, not so much.
Okay. Wow.
When money was tight, yes, that's what we used to do.
I learned a lot from the Italians. So anywho, here's what's on my mind. The Pittsburgh Sportsline Team of the Week is back. Al Levine. the
How'd that
talking
even
machine.
happen?
I got two teams this week. First
Gateway and who else?
First team goes to Pine Ridgeland for winning 21-0 over Penn Hills.
I was going to say, what was the name of that team that's just east of, or just west of Monroeville?
Pine Ridgeland
Is that
21, Penn Hills 0. And for people that didn't hear that, Pine Ridgeland 21, Penn Hills 0. How about Chartiers Valley 42, Ringgold nothing? What happened to that program? But we got to have a Pittsburgh Sportsline Player of the Week.
No way.
And I put that out to a vote. And it
Who
came
had the
in,
vote?
It came
Who
in,
had the vote?
It came in unanimous. Man, I put it out there to the Facebook people, man, the Twitter people. I put it out there on LinkedIn. Give me a player. Everybody came back unanimous with this kid. How about a guy by the name of Derek Davis?
Never heard of him.
The greatest player we ever recruited at Gateway. He's a senior right now, being recruited by Alabama and Clemson. Played Mount Lebanon, a 6A school. Gateway's only 5A. Of course, they won 46-20. But he had 10 carries, 173 yards, 3 touchdowns, and had another 104 yards in receiving.
What did he do
in another touchdown?
But does Mount Lebanon have a new head coach this year?
Yeah, they have a Palco.
Okay.
Palco 8 WPIL championships, but they never beat Gateway.
Really?
Yeah, never beat Gateway.
Did he ever play Gateway?
I'm not sure. He played them now.
They never played them because they were too busy ducking Penn Hills.
But Gateway, again, ranked number 1. The last 3 years, they're the number 1 ranked team. Last year, but they would have beat Penn Hills if they
They
didn't.
won the state title last year.
Well, they slipped up in the playoffs. They didn't play Penn Hills. They looked past it. They slipped up, but they were number 1. They won the state championship.
Would have, could have, and
Hey,
should
if
have.
is one of the biggest words that I ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Well, they'll
If.
win it. They'll win it this year.
Is that what
Penn
you
Hills know they couldn't beat Gateway.
Say it on air.
Donald, that man. Hey.
Say it on air.
What's that?
What are they going to do?
They're gonna win it.
Who?
That Gateway.
Okay.
Well, here.
Now you're on the record.
Finally, what's on my mind was actually Andrew Luck. Of course, I took a lot of heat because my draft report was the only one on the planet that had Russell Wilson ahead of Andrew Luck. And as you see, I was right. You know, listen, I don't like these guys.
Hold it. He's a brittle brother.
Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Andrew Luck is a guy, listen, I believe that football's life or death. Most guys don't. Here's the problem that I have with Andrew Luck. There's been other people who quit football early. There was a guy, you guys probably remember, a white defensive lineman who was probably better than Joe Green, Mike Reed. Came out of Penn State, played 5 years, 50 sacks, you know, all pro,
Yeah.
went into music,
I
quit
remember
after
him.
the season.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders averaged 1,500 yards in 10 years, quit after the season. You got guys like Jim Brown, Calvin Johnson, who I don't like, Gail Sears, Lynn Swan, ended their career after the season. Now, last year, Vontez Davis quit during halftime after 10 years. He quit during halftime in the second game of the season. Every news reporter, every announcer came down hard on this guy, said he quit on his team, this, that, and the other. Everybody's behind Andrew Luck. They're saying it's okay. This is a guy that quit on his team. He quit on the program. He made $109 million. Not only does he not have to give back the $25 million that he owes Indianapolis for quitting, but they're going to pay him in full for this season. You know, I think it's a shame. You know, that it seems like it's nobody wants to criticize the quarterbacks in the National Football League. They run things. Anything the quarterback says is fine. Andrew Luck quitting on his team a week or two before the regular season, I think that's a shame. And that's what's on my mind.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. Very insightful.
I don't think he was too much better than his daddy, Oliver Luck. My
Doesn't matter. He got $120 million in
Yeah,
his pocket.
in his pocket.
That's all that counts,
That's
buddy.
all that counts.
Bottom line. They're not like you. That you don't care what you got in your pocket. Chip Painter, what's on your mind?
Oh, thank you, Alan. And in the rebuttal to Jim's remarks about Andrew Luck, I happen to take the other side of that coin.
What?
Yes, sir. Because Andrew Luck owes nobody anything. He put his life out on the line. He suffered many, many injuries, from a lacerated kidney to torn shoulders. He spent years in the cycle of
Even took a year off.
pain, rehab, or injury, pain, rehab, and all that. He owes nobody anything. Nobody. The Indianapolis Colts knew exactly what his deal was, and here's what the facts of the matter were. If he would have not have retired, he would have probably spent the year on the injured reserve list,
With an ankle
which
injury?
which would have warranted him getting his full pay. And he doesn't owe the Indianapolis Colts anything because they told him you can keep that $25 million. So saying that he owes them something is ridiculous because he doesn't. And the only person that he owes anything to, he's got to be true to himself. And he's got to think about himself and his life after football and his family. And does he want to be there for them, or does he want to end up being crippled? Because you have $150 million when you're 30 and you can't walk up a flight of steps. I don't blame him for getting out while he can, while he still has his faculties. Apparently, the ownership of the Indianapolis Colts doesn't have a problem with it. Most of the people that have a problem with it are the people that drafted him on their fantasy football teams.
Well, look at the year he had
But
last year.
you could say he quit, but I can tell you this: there wasn't a tougher player that played for the Indianapolis Colts from the day he got drafted until Saturday night when he walked off the field. Hey, you know what? I wish him well in his future endeavors. He's a smart kid. He graduated with a degree from Stanford University. And I mean, he's smart enough not to put himself through the mental and physical torture of continuing to play in the NFL. Now, so maybe doing it in the preseason, but this was not a surprise to the Indianapolis Colts. And then when you hear the comments that Rob Gronkowski made, he made the same kind of comments. Oh, but he retired in March, but he retired for the same reasons, because he couldn't deal with the pain and the injuries that were constant in his NFL football career. So I don't have anything bad to say about Andrew Luck. He was one of the good guys. Never heard anything negative about him up until
Who's?
Jim
Smoking.
Jim brought it up, but I just have a different point of view. I respect Jim's point of view. I don't agree with it, and that's what's on my mind.
Well, can I say one thing, Elevator Dog Machine?
Yeah.
Why didn't he retire in March? I wouldn't have had no problem with him retiring in March. The
You know
draft
what?
is in April.
Here is what we don't know.
Yeah.
All of the facts. So trying to make a judgment on somebody with less than all the facts,
He quit.
I think is
He
kind
quit.
of
We
foolish.
know that. He
It's
quit.
foolish.
He quit. He quit.
Don't matter how many times you say it.
He quit.
You want me to
Smoking
say
Jim, I got to disagree with you because we don't know what battles he was fighting and what was going on. And this is the end result of some things.
He was battling that yellow streak that runs down the
And
middle
you
of
know
his
what-
back.
and you know
Also,
what?
what if he had a yellow streak? He did pretty
And
good with
the money
that.
these players get, and if they're smart enough not to squander their fortunes, you're going to see more and more of this happening. Mark my words.
No, never.
already
no,
starting
no.
to see it. Yeah. Hold it. Don't 80% of them go bankrupt?
Oh, yeah.
No, is that good?
I don't care about that.
See?
I want them to entertain me. I don't care what happens when they retire.
There we
I don't want
go.
to see them.
Honest smoking Jim.
I'll kick a
Frazier.
former athlete out of my way if they're in my way, man. I don't want to see you. Yesterday's heroes are soon forgotten.
Thank you, Smoking Jim. Appreciate your honesty. Keep chewing on that pizza. Thanks, Chip Hayner. Appreciate it, and I happen to agree with you on Andrew Luck.
Hey, I respect.
He ran out of luck. That's all I figured.
I
He ran
respect
out
his
of it.
opinion. I just don't agree with it. That's all.
Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I like how he acknowledges yellow streaks after the facts, but that's all right. Appreciate it. And I'm wearing my nice yellow polo because of that. Thank you. I got a yellow streak up my back now, too. I'm afraid to carry on with the show. What's on my mind is I broke my rules. I watched the first Steeler preseason game, only a half. Watch the second preseason game, only a half. Watch the third preseason game. And I know you can't gather much information from preseason because they don't know what they're doing and who they're playing against exactly. But I did notice a couple things. James Washington succeeds very well in preseason. I know that again. He did it again. Looks like he's a got great hands, made some nice catches, and we'll see what happens in the formal season. But he is great in preseason. The defense with Devin Bush and a couple of the other players, they were even remarking during the game how fast the Steeler defense is. Now, it's rare that you hear that during a regular broadcast, let alone preseason. And to hear it from Al Michaels and Collinsworth that how fast the defense was moving was nice to hear that. Now, whether it works out in the regular season, we'll find out. But what I'm still disappointed in is something called turnovers. For some reason, Steelers have stone hands or in the wrong position to get balls. We don't have those ball hawks anymore. I don't know what happened, but nobody can get the ball. We just let them play with it the whole time, and their whole game plan is they still get the ball. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I like the improvements that I see out there. And the receivers seem like they're in great shape. Linebackers look good. The front seven looks great. Can't complain with that. So I'm all for the Steelers. Can't wait to get the season started so then I can look at real games and see who the competition is. But that's what's on my mind.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. Thanks, my man Chipper. And like I said, I would like to agree with both of you on Andrew Luck, then all three of us would be wrong. Thanks again, Zach. My man Zach's in the back. How about the Rookie of the Year, Steve Fisher? And I think Devin Shea's still in the house, isn't he?
No, Devin went home.
He's back?
He just stopped in to say hi.
All right, Devin Shea, we miss him. And my man's running a little late from Gateway. Little Zach Taylor. No? He's not here yet? He's still in
What's
traffic?
this Gateway coming up in the conversation?
Traffic from Monroeville.
How do you even get Gateway by somebody that's
He didn't
Bethel?
transfer yet? Well,
he said, just like you're a co-owner, he's going to stay here.
Well, in 2012, I took a lot of heat. I was with the Steelers, and I bagged them not to take the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, All-American at the University of Georgia. I tabbed him then, Jarvis Too Slow Jones. Steelers still trying to find linebacker help because they kept him way too long. Ended his career with 6 career sacks. I don't even know where he even did that at. And but I took a lot of heat. Everybody says how great this guy was, and I told people then, I don't watch what a guy does. I watch how he does it. And took a lot of heat. It was supposed to be a guy that was supposed to going to push James Conner this year. He beat out all the running backs from Alabama and Georgia, and they're all great in the NFL. And, he put Kentucky on the map, and I called him Benny Slow as a Snail. I said he runs like he got a camel on his back. How can you say that he played in the SEC? He was All-American, first-team All-American. Well, after 3 preseason games, he's tumbling down the depth chart. I said the Steelers, after the first preseason game, I said trade him while he got trade value. Last year I told everybody, even though this guy really didn't play running back in college, Jalen Samuels, I said he was the closest thing I seen to Le'Veon Bell. He could do it all. And they're like, well, he wasn't really a full-time running back. I'm like, yeah, he don't have to wear and tear. If you can run, you can play. He looks good. Conner will probably end up getting hurt. He wants to play in the 4th preseason game. He's too tough for his own good. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are good. They at least got 2 running backs. And there again, the Pittsburgh Steelers' biggest problem is that they cannot draft defensive backs, especially cornerbacks. They just cut Brian Allen, a project. It looks like They just picked up a guy who was cut from another team, an undrafted cornerback, to come on in and fit in. You cannot consistently be an outstanding Super Bowl contending team, although the Steelers got an easy schedule, if you cannot have somebody that can play man-to-man coverage behind your blitzers. So that's what's on my mind.
Thanks.
Benny, slow as a snail.
Thanks, Smokin'. Appreciate that insight.
Well, all right. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to my trivia segment. And just to be clear, all the gloom and doom Jim weaves about the Pittsburgh Steelers, well, they'll still win the division. Mark my words. But, right now, I guess the favorite whipping boy in the city of Pittsburgh
Yes.
would be the Pittsburgh Pirates. Even though I was at 2 of the 3 games last weekend, Friday and Saturday night, where the Pirates swept the Cincinnati Reds. Wow. Friday night was an absolute excellent baseball game to go to. Win the game in the bottom of the 9th. Didn't have to hit a home run to do it. And Saturday night, well, it certainly was nice and refreshing to see the Pirates be on the delivering end of a butt whooping, not on the receiving end. Trevor Williams pitched a nice game. It was a good evening. Watched Mitch Keller pitch. Friday night's game, there was, I believe the Pirates may have struck out 14 or 15 of the Reds in that game, and Mitch Keller struck out 9. And it looked like he was commanding the strike zone. Out of 24 batters he faced, he threw first pitch strikes to 20 of them.
Wow,
and I'm going to tell you something. Wow. When you can start out 0-1, 0-2 on a batter, the odds swing in the favor of the pitcher. Nice job for him. Pirates got a lot of work to do. But I can tell you this is a team that has not quit. They're still playing to win. They played their hearts out last night, and one of Pirates' former players ended the game in the bottom of the 11th with a walk-off home run. Old Sean Rodriguez won the game for the Philadelphia Phillies.
I didn't even know he was still playing.
Yeah, he's still playing, but neither do the Philadelphia Phillies. His batting average for the season is .214. He had 1 hit in his previous 21 at-bats before that home run. So, hey, they say even a blind squirrel can find a nut every now and again. So I was thinking about the Pirates, and I was thinking about some of the things that we've got to look forward to through the rest of the season. One of the things is we may see something happen that has never happened in the National League since its inception, which goes all the way back into the 1880s. Brian Reynolds may win the batting title, which would be the first time a rookie has won the batting title.
Yeah.
In the history of the National League. Something worth watching, paying attention to. Josh Bell broke 100 RBIs for the season. He's the first Pittsburgh Pirate to break 100 RBIs since 2013. And that was last done by Pedro Alvarez, the 1 year where he tied for the league lead in home runs. So I was starting to look through some of the accomplishments of former Pirate players. And I was looking at, I heard some interesting tidbits today, and I heard something mentioned about how many Pirates have hit for the cycle. And it's interesting because 21 Pirate players have hit for the cycle in their career, and they've hit for the cycle 24 times. Wow. So there are 3 players that have hit for the cycle more than once. Fred Clark would be the first. He did that in 1901 and 1903. Let's see here. Archie Vaughan did it once, and Wally Westlake. Isn't that the answer to a trivia question? Yeah. Wally Westlake. He's a household name. He did it in 1948 and 1949. Even home run king Ralph Kiner hit for a cycle. Willie Stargell hit for a cycle. Richie Zisk hit for a cycle. And does anybody know who Richie Zisk is? Yeah. Richie Zisk may have had one of the most difficult things to do in his career because he took over right field after Roberto Clemente passed away.
Wow.
So when you're replacing
a legend.
there's there's not a lot of upside.
I
there.
remember him.
That's different than Richie Hebner, huh? Two different players.
Yes, Richie's this.
Last name's different.
Last name's a little different. The
Size
last,
was
But
different.
before you go on, for the fans that's watching out there, can you tell us what the cycle is, just in case somebody don't know?
okay,
That's
because Jim doesn't know what a cycle is. A cycle in the game of baseball is when a batter gets a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the same game.
Okay.
Well, and for that matter, I was at the game on Friday night, and something happened, and I made mention of it, and the people that were sitting with me, some friends of ours, they were like, I've never heard that before. Do you know what the golden sombrero is?
No. I don't know.
Don't know what the golden sombrero. A golden sombrero is is when a batter strikes out 4 times in the same game.
Whoa.
So getting a golden sombrero is not something that you strive to do.
They made that
and
up.
it is. Google it.
I can't spell
Google it. Yeah, a golden sombrero. So we watched
S-O-M.
Eugenio Suarez for the Cincinnati Reds was up 4 times, struck out 4 times.
Wow.
He got a golden sombrero.
Yeah, well, actually, and then Saturday, the first time up Saturday, he struck out again.
5
so
in
he
a
had
row.
5 in a row. So, but the way things have gotten in Major League Baseball is that it's no big deal if you strike out. Way I was raised when I played baseball, you struck
meant
out 4
something.
times in a row, you were
earned a
sitting on
seat.
the bench. Yes, you earned a seat on the bench.
You got splinters.
Yes. So looking at the Pirates players, there's 21 players have hit for 24 cycles in the history of the Pirates. The Pirates in their history have had 6 no-hitters. The very first one being pitched in 1907 by Nick Maddox. And the last one, which I was present at, was Francisco Cordova and Ricardo Rincon in a 10-inning
I remember that.
no-hitter on July the 12th, 1997. And the game was won in the bottom of the 10th by Mark Smith, who hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 10th to win that game. And the crowd was rocking that night at Three Rivers Stadium. So there's been 6 no-hitters. You look at how many 100-win seasons have the Pirates had in 133 years.
Not many lately.
They've had 2 100-win seasons
Wow.
in their history.
I didn't know that.
1902 and in 1909. In 1909, that's when the Pirates won their first World Series. And then you can
You remember that.
But they didn't
Smokey
play
Jim.
as many games back then, right? Like
well, they only
132?
played 139,
139.
152 in 1909.
150.
152. So then also, because the Pirates were on quite a skid this year, and I do
Yes.
not believe that they will reach this feat again. And I do recall the last time they did and how painful it was. How many 100-loss seasons have the Pirates had in their history? And I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
Last one being in 2010, which got manager John Russell fired and Clint Hurdle hired. So
That John Russell was a ball of fire, wasn't he?
I'm telling you, he was. Oh my God,
There was no emotion.
there's no emotion.
I don't even remember him.
You didn't watch baseball
Yeah,
then.
you don't watch baseball.
If you
now.
saw him, they hit a home run, here's how he looked.
Okay,
They
now
struck out, here's how he looked.
next up, we've got
He was mad at a player.
Cy Young Award winners.
Whoa.
And there's only been 2 in the history of the Pirates franchise. Vernon Law did it in 1960. And Doug Drabeck did it in 1990.
I remember Drake.
And then you've got your Pittsburgh Pirate MVP winners. Dick Groat, 1960. Roberto Clemente in 1966. Dave Parker in 78. Willie Stargell in 79. Barry Bonds in 1990 and 1992, Andrew McCutchen in 2013. How many Rookies of the Year have the Pirates have had?
Well, before you keep going on, before you go to the next one, is Dick Roque in the Hall of Fame? Baseball Hall of Fame? I would
I don't
believe
know
he
if
should
is.
be.
I don't know if
but
he
I'm
is.
not
I
sure
don't.
if he's
I
in.
honestly don't know that. I'll have to check that.
Great,
I'll have to check
great
it.
all around athlete.
So, in the Pirates' esteemed history, they have had exactly one Rookie of the Year. The Pirates' only Rookie of the
I
Year
know
came
who
in
it is.
2004. Who's
I
that?
know who it is.
Who it is?
Andrew McCutcheon.
No, it was Jason Bay. Jason Bay.
He never heard of Jason Bay.
Jason Bay.
You never heard of him, did you?
So Jason Bay was the Pirates' only Rookie of the Year, and the sad thing is, with Pete Alonso already breaking 40 home runs in New York, which is the media capital of the world, I think Brian Reynolds' chances of
Slim.
winning Rookie of the Year are slim to none. Even though I do believe his
He should be in
performance
it,
should
yeah.
be in the conversation. Next, I'm going to go to, and if anybody's paid attention when they're at PNC Park, you'd know the answer to this question. How many numbers have the Pittsburgh Pirates retired? Now, we know that Major League Baseball, across the league, everybody has retired the same number.
42.
Correct. And who was the last player to wear that number?
Marian Riviera.
Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the last because he had that number before they determined that they were going to retire it, so it was grandfathered in, and until he retired, he was the last player that will ever wear that number. But the Pirates' retired numbers are number one for Billy Meyer, and Billy Meyer was the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I'm trying to look at the time frame, but
Early
I'll find
1900s,
that.
I
Early
think.
1900s.
Yeah.
Number 4, Ralph Kiner. Ralph Kiner won 6 or 7 home run titles in a row. Willie Stargell, number 8, has been retired. Bill Mazeroski with number 9 has been retired. Paul Wainer at number 11 has also been retired, and Pie Traynor at number 20. Next up, the great one, Roberto Clemente, number 21. Honus Wagner, number 33. The only Pirates manager, I believe, to win multiple World Series titles, Danny Murtaugh. And I do believe Danny Murtaugh deserves to be in the Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah, he should be.
And then, of
considered.
course, Jackie Robinson. But here's the interesting thing I found out.
Murtaugh was Danny Murtaugh 39.
Number 40.
So I believe 1 and 40 ought to be reissued. Can't retire managers' numbers, man.
Why
For
not?
the players.
They wear
It's only-
uniforms.
It's only
They
sport
wear
that wear
uniforms. They wear them.
Put their name up there. Don't retire that.
So
That's good
this
number.
was something that I found out when I was taking a tour of PNC Park about 4 or 5 years ago. That there is only one team in the major leagues that have more batting champions than the Pittsburgh Pirates. And if you think about the history of baseball and think about who are the players that have won the most batting titles.
Yankees.
You know, you think about people like Tony Gwynn and who was the guy
Pete
from
Rose.
Pete Rose didn't win. that. Pete,
who's it? Carlew? What's
Rod
his name?
Carew. Rod
Carew,
Carew's
yeah.
another one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you know, the Pittsburgh Pirates had Honus Wagner, and Honus Wagner won 7 or 8 of them himself.
Right.
But the Pirates have 25 batting
I
champions,
didn't know that.
and they believe the Detroit Tigers are the only other team that have more with 28. Kind of an interesting thing to I didn't, you know,
Well,
that's
Ty
something
Cobb,
I didn't realize.
Ty Cobb had a bunch of them. at
Ty
Detroit.
Cobb of them had I believe 8 or 9. Paul Wainer had 2. Roberto Clemente won 4. And the year that Roberto won the league MVP, Matty O'Lou won the batting title that year for the
really?
Pirates.
Wow.
Dave Parker won a couple of them in 77 and 78.
Should be in the Hall of
Bill
Fame.
Madlock won 2 of
I
them,
was going to bring up Bill.
81 and 83.
He
He
won
was a
2?
great hitter. Yeah.
Well, actually, Bill Madlock
Wow.
won 4 batting
Yeah,
titles.
he had 2
He
before
won
he
2
got
when he
here.
played for the Chicago Cubs. Pirates traded for him from the Cubs.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah,
they did.
he was a good player before.
Oh, okay.
You never saw him play, but that's all.
So next up is how many Pirates have won the home run title? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 Pirates have won the home run title. Tommy Leach, Willie Stargell, Pedro Alvarez, and Ralph Kiner.
Wow.
Don't forget
Those are
Barry
Pirates
Bonds. We
home-
still consider Barry Bonds a Pirate at San Fran, don't we?
No.
No.
Well, you said the one guy had 4 bat titles. You counted
Well, no.
2 with the Cubbies.
You didn't listen to what he was talking
you
about.
weren't listening to what I was telling you. As a Pirate, how many Pirates have won the home run title? Not how many former Pirates won a home run title after they cheated, okay, playing for another team.
Yeah. Barry Bonds.
Am I clear?
He did have 2 MVPs here, Smokey.
Yeah, I thought it was 3, but it's
He
only
had
2.
2. Only 2. He was cheating on the other one.
But that kind of just gives a wrap-up of some of the accomplishments of the Pittsburgh Pirates over the years. And I know that this year has been nothing shy of a huge disappointment.
Yes.
And I do believe this with all my heart, that the Pirates will figure it out. They will put a competitive team on the field next year. And we will not see a repeat of this year. That I can assure you.
That's what you said last year.
Hey, I'm
We had a
telling you
winning
what,
year
Jim,
last year.
Jim, I'm going to tell you this. I was as surprised as anybody that we went in the tank as badly as we did in the
I
last 6
told
weeks.
you we were going to collapse after
right,
the All-Star break.
You can tell me it's daylight, and I'm going to have to go out and check to make sure it is.
Take those sunglasses off and tell us what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, take those sunglasses off. Tell us the truth.
You know I love you, Jim.
Love you
But
back.
I question everything you say.
Chip, I do the same thing. I look through 17 sources to try to confirm that he's not lying to me, and I found out he's lying to me. Thank you, Chip Hayner.
I don't make stuff up.
No, I like that. Thank you for verifying the sombrero, the golden sombrero. On location, we had one of our finest shows, I've been told, witnessed by smoking Stevie Wonder Frazier.
Hines Ward.
Well, some say that, but they're mistaken because they're blind in one eye and can't see out of the other. But other than that, he has a nice smile. But we went on a road trip. Yes, Smoking Jim picked me up, and it was an adventure like I said it would be because his driving skills, they're good, enough to get us there. And we may have gotten lost once, but we're on the right track. We only stopped 2 times, and we're still on the right track.
I mean, I'm thinking about Jim driving, I visualize Mr. Magoo.
Here, Chip, I have to verify a story with you.
Road hog.
We had a great show at Joe Board's boxing gym in Knoxville Fire Department in their basement. It's just set up very nice, and it was just great. When we got out, he got out of the car, and he's there, smell this air. It makes me want to walk. And I said, what about road work? How about running like the boxers? He goes, that's another story. So we leave the place, had a great time. 2 of the best burgers I ever had, Roxy Burgers.
Good.
They were just awesome. Boxers were great, 12 boxers. Assistant fire chief, great interview. Joe was a great interview, thanked us so many times. I even told him to do us 3 more, and he did. But just had a great time. Then we're driving back. I got to share this story because they told us how to get there, and we just listened to them, and it only took us 45 minutes to get home. So a miracle happened. Smoking Jim drove, but we're driving in the car, Chip, and he goes, hey, talking machine, did you ever see clouds like this? Now, there's layers of cumulus clouds, which he doesn't even know, white puffy clouds, all across the sky, layered up, just layered
Beautiful.
up. And I go, Smoking Jim, I've seen that my whole life. He goes, I've never seen that before. I go, well, I guess you don't look up much in life. I said, I'm always looking up. And that's what I saw, but there was nice cloud formations for Smoking Jim. Yes, he did have his sunglasses on, so I'm not sure what he did see. But there were plenty of clouds, and we made it home safely somehow, some way. I don't know how it worked out. We did. We even got there. He goes, I can't believe we got you home in less than an hour. I go, we went the right way.
Shortest distance between 2 points, right?
Yeah, and that works out. But that was a great road trip on location. You have to check out the video. I just posted it online. Smoking Jim was laughing again at it, so must be a good one. But we did have some fun, great interviews. Champion boxers, Cheyenne Gist, Sugar Shy, had an eye injury and she took a year off, and she's going to heal up and get back to fighting. She's only going to be 26 years old. She's an 8-time national champion. She turned to be a pro fighter, has a few fights under her belt, but got a detached tendon in her cornea. So she had to watch her vision there, and it's a tough battle. Alana Laxon from the Philippines just became an American citizen, is a 2-time national champion at 106 pounds.
Wow.
Well, she went and fought a young lady who's a few years older than her and had 17 fights, and she got stopped in the 3rd round. Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station was the referee in the ring, and he gave her every chance possible to continue, but she just met a better person with more experience. Look at it, from 2 fights to 17 makes a big difference. But she learned a lot and is a game fighter, and she'll fight some more. She plans on fighting more. She just turned 18, so she got a long career ahead of her, is possibly looking at the Olympics. And we looked at other boxers that have been there a year. Some are fighting, some aren't. You can see the interviews and check it out. Just a great day, great afternoon of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the Knoxville Fire Department basement. So it was great. Yeah, real nice location. They may do future fights there and maybe ask us to come down and film them. So we'll keep that opportunity on location. On location, next month we'll be doing a show September 9th, Olive Oil's Pizzeria, lining up some guests there. So check it out. They always have food specials there, great food, great Italian dinners. I think he has an all-you-can-eat pasta deal going on right now there at 930 Brookline Boulevard, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. We start at 7:30, finish up at 8:30, and it's a great time. Their Italian ice, I recommend it highly. That watermelon is delicious.
Yes, sir.
And we're looking for other locations, and we're even supposed to do fights at the Moundsville Penitentiary, which is haunted, on September 21st. So depending on how I heal up and Smoking Jim picks me up again and drives me, we'll look for another ride to West Virginia. And hopefully the sun's not shining, but we'll make it somehow, some way. So keep watching us and check out our On Location. We'll be back with a short version of the Pittsburgh Pirates and Steeler talk.
We're in the Stanley Cup final for the 2nd year in a row, and here's Yager with the puck. Yager, nice move around Brett Sutter to the backhand. Let's it go, he scores!
I think we're back.
We're back. We're a little bit off camera there. We needed a slight adjustment. They've been cutting me out of the group shot pretty good tonight, so I respect that. Half a body's better than none. A little bit of Pirate talk. What's the update right now, Chip?
Right now, top of the 3rd inning, Pirates are up 2-1. Brian Reynolds hit a 2-run homer in the 1st inning.
That's one way to keep the average up and the home
Right
runs.
now, his average is at 333.
See,
He is
there's the
among
look.
league leaders.
There's part of me in this. Chip centered, and Smoking Jim lost the shoulder.
See, there's
I don't know if they could pull that camera back just
So
a
there's
little
something
bit.
to be said about being the monkey in the
Yeah,
middle.
you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Now, he used to have a 352 average or something like that, right?
No,
Reynolds.
340 or so.
No, he's I think in the low 340s.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Last weekend he was down to 325, so he
Yeah.
bumped it back up
Yeah,
again.
because you weren't paying attention much to that. So.
But the averages fluctuate, Batters go through streaks, You remember, 333 average means that
if they could just pull that camera back a little
3.3 times
that
out of
would
10,
work.
he's successful. So
they could
6.7
just-
times they fail.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I heard we look fine on TV. but
So
thank
anyhow,
you.
the Buccos have been having a tough stretch. Stephen Brault's pitching tonight, and actually Stephen Brault has pitched very
He's
well.
been the best pitcher in the last 6
pitched,
weeks.
He's pitched very, very well. And, the Pirates are going to get a lot of young players playing in a few days. They're going to beef that roster up to 40 players,
Yeah.
when they expand the rosters on September 1st. And this will be the last year of expanding the rosters to
I've
40
heard that.
men. Major League Baseball's got to make some changes next year, which will make it extremely interesting going into September.
Sure.
Because generally what happens is the minor league seasons end at the end of August. And,
Bring the players
then you
up.
bring the players up. But now if their seasons end and nobody's playing, are you going to be getting somebody that's
Out of
game
shape.
ready?
Yeah.
Game ready. So it'll be interesting to see. There's going to be a lot of work for the Pirates to do between
Yeah.
now and next spring.
Maybe some
They-
changes,
Well,
too.
there could be. Very well could be. One of the things that, in my humble opinion, I do think that they need to go out and, if they have to, overpay for a starting pitcher in free agency. And I don't think they're going to be able to go after somebody like Garrett Cole at the high end of the deal.
Well, he's going to be $200 million or more.
But you know what? I wouldn't be too surprised if you don't see him sign for that big of a contract.
Really?
Well, here's what the thing is, especially with pitchers, the contracts are guaranteed. So giving somebody like that a 7-8 year contract for $200 million, it's a losing proposition for the team. You strap
Maybe 4
yourself
years
financially.
for $30 million a year.
We'll see what happens. He's got Scott Boras, and believe me, if anybody can squeeze blood out
He
of a
does.
rock, it's him.
Yeah.
So. That's what's going on here. So now we've got the Steelers playing a completely meaningless game
Yeah,
Thursday
night.
evening. And, we get ready to go to Foxborough a week from Sunday night.
Who thinks they're going to win in Foxborough? You're the only one here.
Yeah. I actually think they're going to beat New England in New England, first
How?
game of the season. How?
Yeah.
They're going to score one more point.
Okay. Just wanted to hear.
No, you know what? It'll be interesting to see. There's a lot of things going on in New England that everybody says Belichick wouldn't let this go on. But one of their defensive backs under indictment for cocaine possession. They've got both of their starting tight ends are on 4-game suspensions for PEDs. There's
How does that happen?
and Gronk
It's
is
done.
gone. So Brady, I think one of the things that
got
made
a blood clot, so he may be out for the year.
yes,
Starting
and
Thanks, Smoking Jim.
yes, and Jim is correct. The center for the Patriots has got blood
If it's
clots
negative, he'll find it.
in his lungs. And so I honestly think that the Steelers are going to come out, and I think and I will be honest with you, I didn't see a single play in Sunday night's game. By the time
Yeah.
it came on, I was asleep, and that's just the way that is. But from what I understand, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is noticeably faster.
Yeah.
And if there was anything that I think could make a difference, they were a middle of the road, defense. I know that the statistics said they were top 10, but I didn't really believe
Number 6.
that. The statistics don't tell the whole story, because I think they were the worst team in the league when it came to turnovers. And that's really what makes a big difference. So I expect to see the biggest improvement on that side of the ball. I think the offense is going to be just fine.
Well, I think I'm the only one on the planet that was disappointed in defense. I've been watching football since I was 3 years old and had season tickets since
How
I
old
was
are you now?
4 years old.
How old are
and
you
I've
now?
never seen a preseason game where they're blitzing like that. Usually you keep everything vanilla. The Pittsburgh Steelers, what they did, I tell you what, if I was, who's the coach for Tennessee?
Make it quick, Smoking Jim. We're
Vrabel.
running out of time.
Vrabel should have punched Butler in the face, because Butler was putting in all kind of exotic blitzes, and he was playing a vanilla offense. And so everybody that was impressed with the defense, they didn't impress me.
I'm still impressed. I don't care what Smoking Jim says. I appreciate his vision to it, but please stay Joey strong.